guys, welcome back to the further adventures of Hank the Cowdog. This is chapter 9, Invited for Breakfast. As you might have already figured out by now, I went to the creek for two reasons. It's easier to swim than to walk when you're stoved up like me, and because you don't leave scent. I didn't want those two brothers following my scent. I swam as far as I could until the creek got too shallow, then I climbed out and started walking. The swim must have done me some good because my aches and pains felt better when I got out, but I still had that eye crosserosis problem, and I had no idea where I was going. I walked until I came to a big cottonwood tree, and that's where I stopped for the night. Didn't sleep too soundly, kept having the same dream about getting whooped on my own ranch by a Doberman. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? What woke me up was the sound of voices, two of them, and I knew that Rip and Snort had tracked me down and were fixing to stomp a mud hole in Hank the Cowdog. I just wasn't ready for that. I opened my eyes and looked around. Couldn't see anyone, not even a blurred image. But then I heard voices. They belonged to a couple of buzzards. "Junior, you gotta get out of that bed and go find us some breakfast." "But Pa, it's shameful the way you mope around." "Why, when I was your age..." "But Pa, I was up every morning at daylight. Yes, I was, out looking for food. You want to know what your trouble is?" "Not really. Trouble is, with you, you're lazy and shiftless." "Yes, sir." Do you want to help me read, Riley? "But life isn't that way, son. I've told you, and I've told you." "Pa, what?" "I think something walked up and parked itself at the bottom of this tree, 'cause there's something down there." There was a long silence. Then Wallace said, "And the other trouble with you, Junior, is that you have this smart alecky streak." Nobody likes a smart alecky streak. "Beats me, but it's got two tails and an ear." "You mean two ears and a tail?" "That's what I said." "You'll reckon it'll eat?" "I bet it will, 'cause I'm hungry. Follow me, and always remember that your elders get first dibs. I want leg." I glanced up and saw Wallace spread his wings, step off the branch. He flapped as hard as he could, but he must have miscalculated, because he flew right into a tangle of grapevines. He squawked and flapped, tried to get out, but he got a leg caught, and ended up hanging upside down. "Darn the luck. Now look what you've got me into." Junior stepped off the branch, flapped his wings, and crashed on the ground. The impact drove his beak into the dirt, and he got up spitting. "Junior, get me down from here, and don't you dare take a bite." "Not until I get there." Junior ignored him. He had a crazy grin on his face and came jumping toward me. I raised up and growled and showed him some fangs. "Oh, darn." "There's no call for cussin'. You watch your language." Junior turned and looked up at him. "Well, you cuss all the time." "Son, there's time for cussin' and a time for not cussin', and when you get old enough to know right from wrong, we'll let you try it. Now get me out of this tree." Junior glanced at me again. I gave him another growl, and he edged a few steps away. "Pa, it's him again. That same dog." "What? And he ain't dead again." As I said, Wallace was still hanging upside down. He stared at me, I stared at him, and for a good measure I gave him another growl. "Well, I'll be, of all the dad-danged, gosh-blamed, stinking, horrifying, son-of-a-gun, pig-nosed, lousy luck. Pa, you're cussin'. You dang right I'm cussin'. When it's time to cuss, I need to cuss." His foot came loose and he came crashing to the ground. He danged like to broke my neck, but you don't care. All you ever think about is yourself, because the trouble with you, son, is that you've got no respect for age and wisdom. That's what's wrong with you. Wallace straightened his neck and came waddling over. "You got lots of troubles." "Shame on you." "Well, shame on you right back." That straightened him up. "Junior, did you hear that? You're just going to stand there and take that off a dog?" "Most likely I will. Well, I never. When I was your age..." The old man rubbed his beak with the end of his wing and scowled. "Say there, neighbor, aren't you the same one who gave us a chicken head one time?" "Yep. Don't reckon you got another one." "Nope. Didn't figure you did." Just then I had a brilliant idea. "Speaking of chicken head, seems to me you boys promised to do me a favor sometime." "I don't recall that. Sure don't." "We did, Pa. We sure did." "You can just hush. You don't have to tell everything you know." "Maybe we did, maybe we didn't," he said back to me. "Well, I'm here to collect." "What exactly do you have in mind, neighbor? We've had some bad luck lately." I explained about the eye crosserosis, how I was lost, couldn't find my way back, and all of a sudden Wallace seemed mighty interested. "I see what you mean. A guy could starve to death out here. I bet Madam Moonshine could fix his eyes." Me and the old man turned and stared at him. "Who's Madam Moonshine?" "Oh, hush your mouth, Junior. Don't you? She's a witch and lives in a cave." "She's a witch and lives in a cave?" No such thing, Wallace butted in. And she don't live in no cave, and Junior, you leave the talking to me, and as for you, we can't help you. That's the end of Chapter 9, Part 1.